It's now been exactly 1 year since we bought the Tesla Model 3. So let's go ahead and look at how it's held up. Let's start out with the exterior. So with daily driving this on the highway, there's a lot of rock chips that we end up getting. This one here, there's also a lot of bugs on it because we haven't been driving it for a while. There's a lot of bugs. And this is just something that happens when you daily drive the car. You also end up getting a lot of rock chips. You can't really tell a lot of them because there's a lot of bug guts, but there's a lot here. There's another one here on the hood that you can't really tell. But basically a giant rock flew up and just scraped the hood. And then we also have a rock chip right here. It's also kind of hard to tell. So when we bought the car, I thought about putting paint protection film on it, but doing the whole car would cost around $5,000, and I didn't think that was worth it for a daily driver. So we decided to just not do anything at all. Now another thing that happened is one time when I was making a sharp turn, I didn't see the curb, so I ended up curb rashing two of the wheels, and we rotated the tires, so it's not these two. Here's the curb rash. So one here, this one's not too bad, and then on the other side, it's over here, and this one's a little bit worse. Other than that, the exterior has been pretty good, not bad for a daily driver. Now let's go ahead and look at the interior. So we put in these all-weather floor mats, and clearly they've been helpful because our ground's pretty dirty. Let's go ahead and look. The car now has 23,146 miles, and this is basically driving from May 3rd, 2019 until mid-March 2020. And I say mid-March because ever since the shelter in place in California has happened, we haven't driven the car very often. So it's mostly just been sitting in our garage, plugged in for 50%. Other than that, the interior has held up extremely well. There's no scratches, no rips, no tears anywhere. And it's mostly just me driving, so it would just be the front seat. Now going on to modifications of the car, we didn't really do much, but for this piano black plastic, I actually did put some paint protection film on it. We got it cut and then I just installed it. It's a little bit difficult for the first time that I did it, but it worked out. There's a couple spots where I didn't install it perfectly, and I thought it would lift up after a little bit, but it actually didn't, so that's good. Another thing that we did do is, I don't know if you can tell, but I tinted the windows. You can tell right here, I did the visor. So I did all four windows, this moonroof, and the back in one piece. Now the reason why I decided to do this was because I actually got sunburned driving the car for around 8 hours and then going to a beach right after. And then we also felt a lot of heat coming through here. So I figured getting ceramic tint on it would help. And the tint shop offered to do this visor for free. And in California, you can only do the visor. So I told them to keep it legal, and they just did the visor. Another thing that we did is we installed this weather seal kit. Did it all around on this door, over here, and also on the back door. Now this was supposed to help with making it less noisy in the car and also keeping the dust out. It helped a little bit. This used to get a lot dirtier, but it didn't really help that much with the noise, and as you can see, it still gets dusty in here. So I actually wouldn't recommend doing this. It wasn't a lot of work, but the doors are now a little bit harder to close, and they're supposed to make a nice thumping sound, but I don't think they do. And then also this door, it's kind of hard to tell, but it doesn't close flush anymore. And I think that's because when I installed this, I put it all the way on the edge, like how I thought you were supposed to do. And then this one I like put it all the way. On the other side, I actually didn't put it all the way on the edge, and it didn't work as well, which is why this side I did it all the way to the edge. But yeah, that's a quick update, 1 year update on the car. We really haven't driven it much in the last couple weeks, but I'll go ahead and get a cost down. We've driven it 23,146 miles, used up 5,294 kilowatts. And some of these were supercharging and some were charging at home, some were charging at work. I'll go ahead and do a cost breakdown of everything and compare it to if I were to buy a gas car instead. All right, so let's look at the total cost of the Tesla Model 3 Standard Range Plus. So we bought the Standard Range Plus, which is $39,990 when we purchased it. When we bought it, white paint was not free, so we paid $1,500 for that. And here in the Bay Area, our tax is 9.25%, so tax came out to be $3,837.83. Now for the, in quotes, modifications that I did on the car, we got the car tinted with ceramic tint, so that was $600. The door seal kit was around $30. I bought some paint protection film for $20, and what I used this for was to wrap the center console, the piano black plastic, and also to put under the clean air decal sticker just so that when it does expire and we peel it off, it won't damage the paint. And our floor mats were, I believe, around $300. Could be wrong on that. Let's just leave it at $300. And that's because the Standard Range Plus doesn't come with any floor mats. Now, service on the car, after about 10,000 miles, I noticed that when we drive on the highway, there's a rattling noise coming from the front left tire. So I brought it into service and they charged me $100 to fix that. Now, some people said that I should probably have argued that and said that it should be under warranty, even though they say noises don't count, but I just paid it anyway. And I put here car wash 0, just because I already had the car wash detergent. So what I actually do is I hand wash the car and then I use a wash Waxall to dry it and wax it at the same time. Now for electricity, we supercharged a total of 1,198 kilowatts, and we did have we did have a referral, so technically all these supercharger chargers were free, but I just wanted to calculate it just to see if we did have to pay for it, how much it would cost. And I calculated it at 28 cents per kilowatt. That comes out to be $335.44. And then at home, for the remaining electricity that we used, that would be 4,065 kilowatts at 16 cents per kilowatt. That's $650.04. So electricity comes out to be $985.84. And then we got some tax credits too. So PG&E gave us $800, federal tax credit of $3,750, and our state of $2,500. And this number is actually wrong because it adds this up. So let me go ahead and delete that. There you go. So our total cost is $40,313. Now let me actually pull this aside. Okay. So you can see that we spent $985.84 for the electricity alone. Now, if I were to have, for example, bought a BMW 3 Series, for the 23,146 miles at a combined of 30 miles per gallon, I mean I would use 771.5 gallons. And here in the Bay Area, gas for premium gas was around $3.50. I think it was like $3.70 per gallon. So I just put it at $3.50. That would have been $2,700 on gas. So right there you can see that driving the Tesla does save you money on electricity. And this is also with the supercharging. If I only charge at home, it'd be even cheaper. And a lot of times I charge at work, which is even cheaper than this. Now the next thing that I want to look at is our battery degradation. And I don't have a lot of data on this because I don't use TeslaFi or anything. But the Standard Range Plus was rated at 240 miles. And at 10,000 miles, I noticed that at 90% we get about 223. So it never went to 240. And this could be because when we first bought the car, we supercharged it a decent amount because we didn't have a home charger. Or it could just be the BMS is off. No one really knows. But at 20,000 miles, it dropped to 220 miles. And along the way, sometimes it dropped to like 218, then it'd go back up. So I learned to not really care about this number. But This is the number that the car tells us, 220 miles, which is quite a bit different from the 240 miles. So, after taking this car to Yosemite twice, and Las Vegas once, and numerous trips around the Bay Area, the car has held up extremely well and is still a blast to get in every day and drive. It isn't the performance model, but it's enough for me. Thanks for watching. I'll leave my referral link below if you decide to order a Tesla.